Welcome back to the Smart Movers Club. It's one big club and you're in it. Right around here, we are democratizing data. If you are familiar with this channel, you know that I started my journey back in February, right? And it all started with me driving from this place, Los Angeles, with my cargo van business, all the way up to Montana, and kind of getting stuck in Montana, having to drive towards Kansas, going down that way through Wyoming, through Colorado, and then over to Kansas to actually get a load to go down to Texas. Well, in those three, I think it was like 4 or 5 days that I had with zero loads, guess what? It sparked something in me to understand economically what's going on in the United States, right? Some states seem to fare better for truck drivers and freight and logistics and things like that. But when I got back home across east, I realized that, I started a 50-state cost of living, what's happening there, recent news. And for me to get that data and gather that data to do those 50 videos on those 50 states, I was all over the place, okay? Demographics, crime, cost of living, homes prices, all of that I bring to you in those videos. And then I said to myself, but what if people want to invest in another state? They're currently, let's say, in New York. They want to play the game. They're looking for generational wealth. They're looking to get in the game. What's happening is that between private equity and institutional money and just big boy money, they go in a market so quickly when they realize it. Like right now, the Sun Belt is getting that benefit right here. The Sun Belt is private equity, institutional money. They're rolling up, they're buying up a lot of the properties, flipping them, repositioning them, and turning them Class B, Class A. They don't really mess with the Class C, but they get there first. And what kind of information do they follow that we're not privy to? So I started looking again, and I said, holy shit, there's a whole different language being spoken. There's a whole different level of indicators being looked at, and we're just not in tune. And some of those indicators are understanding the migration flows, understanding where the corporations are expanding, where they're building, where they're creating jobs, what remote work is looking like, what does the workforce look like, the number of people with bachelor degrees, what's the median age in a place. All of these things matter when it makes a decision. Infrastructure upgrades, government contracts. I have this section here in the app that is called investment tracker. This literally it comes in every morning and you'll have it basically. Look at this, replacement of emergency power supply system. This is in Springfield, costing $5 million, expected start. Temporary lodging facility. These are all the government projects that are going on right now. It says who actually owns the project, right? You got the DOE, you got the USACE, you got a lot of DOE projects, I'll tell you that. A lot of and FAA is on here too. But you get to see what's going on in this government projects. Where's the big money going? Well, guess what? Private equity, institutional money, they keep up on that because the government spends the money to get a place supported for development, right? Sewer lines, clearing, grids, visibility improvement, infrastructure with utilities, broadband, getting everything supported so that yes, the businesses could come. The states could offer these incentives and tax breaks to these corporations coming there. So what I did was build something that A, it makes it easier for me to do these videos, but B, I was like, holy smokes, I could definitely see small developers and first-time investors or anyone that's thinking about relocating use this system because A, it's real time, B, it's institutional grade in market intelligence, and C, it's all in one place. So that's what you get when you join Smart Movers Club. Head over to smartmoversclub.com right now. There's a free trial going on for you to test the system. Plus, I love the feedback that I get. We've been getting a couple good feedback, so we are changing it, making it more intuitive. But let's talk about what the system has to offer, right? So let's actually, because I got stuck in Montana, right? I was in Bozeman. Let me see if this is Bozeman. Yeah, that's Bozeman. All right, so we're going to do something here. We are going to look at the price trend of Montana. So if we go up to Montana, Bozeman, go to price trend, and let's see if Montana's prices, as far as home prices, are rising, falling, stable, where they're at now, and what we could expect if you're trying to go to Montana, right? So here's the price trend. Already, it's red. The legend says red is falling prices, so we could just click into here and see. Look at that median price. Look at that. Look at that median price. So inventory is increasing, providing more choices to buyers, slowing price growth with recent month-over-month price softening. Longer days on market compared to previous years, indicating less urgency. High-end luxury properties over 1.7 million experiencing high expiration and cancellation rates. More price reductions, approximately 38% of listings, indicating competitive market. Buyers gaining leverage compared to previous years. Good for the buyers, right? But this doesn't say a lot for the investment. I mean, personally, I don't see a lot of small developers and first-time investors going up to Bozeman, right? It's a very expensive market already. But if you wanted to move there, what does that look like? What does, let's see, Helena look like? And if it's Helena, I'm sorry. You know how it goes. All right, so you could come here and kind of look at what the price trends are doing, so you can make a smarter move. So now we're up to Helena, and we see that that's green. It's rising up there, okay? That's up 3.1% in the year. Limited inventory contributing to sustained demand. Steady economic growth in the area. Rising property valuations following pandemic-driven market shifts. Increasing property tax valuations influencing home affordability. Moderate rise in new listings and pending sales indicating balanced buyer interest. Okay, very good. Okay, so that tells you a good amount of data, right? You're looking at the price trend, where things are going. And honestly, if you come in here in 3 months, it moves with the market. So this is not a static thing. It moves. It's real live. It's live actioned, ready to go, right? With the movements of the market. So the next thing that I want to show you is that if you go over to here, and then you click Montana, and then we go to Bozeman, and we look at the let's say 0 to 6 months, and analyze Montana from a perspective of now into March or wherever it takes us, you could see if it's beneficial. What does the market analysis say? Now, if you haven't already, go ahead and like this video, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and go ahead and leave a comment. And in the comment, tell me if you want me to look up a certain place, or if you're thinking about heading over to Smart Movers Club and going in here and getting a free trial. That'll be awesome if you let me know that. All right, so B+ holds, right? Look at the ROI. It's so low, 5 to 8% annually. Top major moves there. You got Montana State University Research Park Phase 2. They put $33 million to that. It's only creating 160 jobs, but let's see, with $33 million invested and 160 STEM and support jobs expected by early 2026. Amazon here completed a $42 million expansion of its Bozeman distribution hub in Q3 2025, adding 220 full-time jobs and increasing logistics demand. All right, so here you could get all the numbers given to you in easy-to-read format, right? Population growth. It talks about the job growth. It talks about what's happening, like the key economic indicators. Basically, for Montana, it's education, healthcare, tourism, and tech. However, rising cost of living, especially housing, is beginning to deter lower income and first-time buyers. The city's economic health aligns with smart investment principles, diversified employment base, positive if slowing population growth, and a stable job market. But affordability pressures and slowing in migration are early warning signs for investors. Now, why is this saying all of this, right? It's saying it because as someone that's relocating, you got to look at the numbers. As someone that's investing, you got to look at the ROI and the benefits, right? You're not just putting your money in a market just to put it there because FOMO, because it looks nice, because other people are saying it, because a couple people did it and, back in 2021 and it worked for them. No, you got to keep up with the market. You got to keep up. There's always shifts happening. So you got to make smarter decisions. So that's why all this information is there for you. But what's most important is I do have investment vehicle analysis. So in land, what does that look like? The pros and cons of getting a land, high holding costs, taxes, insurance, and utilities. Commercial business opportunities, the pros, of course, the cons, high entry costs and competition for prime locations. All right, rental properties, pros and cons. The con is high purchase prices, limit cash flow for new entrants. Flipping opportunities, you want to purchase a place, rehab it, and then go ahead and flip it. Look at high renovation cost and contractor shortages. The renovation cost is definitely high there. And one of the reasons why I did not get any freight out of Bozeman after I dropped that product off from LA to Bozeman and I didn't get anything for 3 days sitting in Montana was because Montana is a state that gets 93% imports. Where are they coming from? International. They're coming from Canada and they're coming from Mexico. So 93%, prices are going to be higher. You're paying for everything to be shipped, number one. Number two, you're dealing with the tariffs. Number three, you got shortages up there already. All right, so here we go where it says here, it is a hold. The smart movers verdict is a hold. I mean, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Look at these price ranges for a targeted buy for small family and value add rentals. Is if you could find that under 800,000, go ahead, right? The price range is 600 to 800,000 for duplexes, triplexes, and well-located single-family renters. Avoid speculative land and high-end flips unless you have deep local expertise and contractor relationships, because there's a contractor shortage up there. Okay, so the overall thing here is that what you have to do, it's proceed with caution here. The affordability index is way low. Market timing is not there. Population growth is almost steady to declining. Corporate investment flow is at an 8, so we're still seeing some moves happening there, right? So, but this helps you kind of understand what the market has to offer. Now, if this is going to help you, and this is just honestly, a tip of the iceberg, because down here, it's the complete intelligence report. It's the complete report. It's over 15 pages based on Bozeman. This is the same information that the private equity firms' institutional money use to scout where they're going next. I was watching a video and it was it was Tremel Crow, the CEO of Tremel Crow. And he was saying, the person asked him, like, how do you guys know where to go next, like a good market? And the gentleman, and he answered, he said, we follow really population. And in order to follow population, you can't take that as face value. In order to follow population, you got to follow corporations, right? You got to follow the jobs. Jobs moves people, right? So you got to look at that, the local industry, the what is actually working there, right? Is it, what kind of hub is it? Industrial, data centers, logistics, manufacturing, healthcare, tourism. You have to understand that. And what are the corporations that are coming in? So those are the type of things that we give you here at the Smart Movers Club, and also an investment tracker. Let me see if I could. All right. So this is the corporate moves, right? We got all states selected, but this is the corporate moves. We're tracking over 50 activities here. There's way more though. We can't bombard you, But we got Bally's Corp. Let's try to find one that we know where it's going. All right, so this one's significant investment. All right, let's see what we got here. These are all corporations that just filed the AK, either expansion, changes in the leadership. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know how it goes. All right, so Salente Corp. And you could actually, look it up, and I do have a source here so you guys could go to that. But you know what? Let's find private equity here, see what private equity got going on. Oh man, there's so much. I mean, you could literally stay in here for days. This one's big. Saluna Holdings. And it goes out to the filing detail for you guys. But basically, you could sit here, you could play in it. We do have some different parts of it. We have, you could scrape the internet for deals, as far as property. Of course, we got the sentiment analysis, so you could see what people are saying in a location, in a city, or the entire state. What is the overall sentiment of it? So we have a lot to offer here. So guys, I built it for you. I first built it for me because there was a need. I couldn't keep looking everywhere for data to make the videos. But then I just realized, like, wow, this is such a valuable piece of information for people to invest and for people to move, and even for real estate agents that just want to actually give their clients that fiduciary, honestly, honest, real accurate data, and show and prove with them. Let them stay on longer with you because you've given them some benefit and value, instead of just saying, yeah, I'll go kick down the doors with you on Sunday mornings or afternoons, guys. All right, so thank you so much for watching. Again, if you like watching this, and if you like this type of video, subscribe to the channel. Peace.